First off, I had zero intentions of playing Hogwarts Legacy, let alone reviewing it. I'm not a Harry Potter fan, I've literally only seen the first movie, never read the books, and just overall kinda don't know shit about the universe. But when that hype train hit the internet, ooh, that good old fear of missing out kicked in, and so I used a free trial of Gamefly and asked them if they could pretty please send me a copy of Hogwarts Legacy. Now, if you're looking for a review where I put into account your feelings about J.K. Rowling and deduct it from the overall score so you can feel validated tonight, this is not it. But if you're curious about how Hogwarts Legacy is to somebody who isn't part of the fandom, then you're in the right place. As always, if you like what you see, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe. And if you're feeling extra saucy, hit that bell notification. Let's get to it. Hogwarts Legacy is based in the late 1800s, well before the movies or books from what I understand, and the game starts you off in a decently robust character creation screen and then throws you into the story. Basically, you're starting as a fifth-year student, even though it's your first year at the school, because you're under the mentorship of a guy named Professor Fig. While on your way to Hogwarts, you're shown an ancient artifact and soon after are attacked by a dragon that rips your flying coach in half, and Professor Fig transports you into the artifact mid-fall. While there, you realize your ability as the protagonist to see ancient magic and soon meet your main villain Ranrock, and after a little bit of foreshadowing, start your year at school studying, while also building up the knowledge to stop him. All in all, it's a classic setup, and while it's nothing groundbreaking in terms of storytelling, as someone who's new to the franchise, it was a perfect introduction and was manageable for me to understand. Make no mistakes, this is an RPG through and through, meaning there's tons of storylines and characters to meet, and I'd say at least half of the game is dialogue. But for what it's worth, it's all really well done and perfectly juggles enough context for new fans as well as longtime ones. Gameplay is basically what you would expect in any modern action-adventure game. Particularly, it's very akin to like the Arkham series or Insomniac Spider-Man. There's a decent amount of enemy variety, and the combat is always extremely fun to look at. Navigating through the multiple magic menu screens mid-fight for me, at least, felt very clunky. So I, for the most part, stuck with 4 spells during my combat scenarios, but it still somehow never got too stale for me. Other than that, all your common RPG tropes are there. Skill trees, consumables, etc. What this game does so well though, and this is true about everything throughout, is it makes all of these common gameplay mechanics feel at home in this universe and logical to it. Thankfully without adapting the god-awful Ubisoft approach of mission structure. Performance-wise, for the most part, the game plays solidly. I played on the PS5 with my settings towards ray tracing and graphical fidelity. I did notice a ton of pop-in terms of textures, as well as characters in general, and that sometimes did break immersion a bit, but there's nothing game-breaking and I'm sure it'll be patched soon. All in all, I did enjoy my time in Hogwarts Legacy. I've sunk about 30 hours into the game, so I feel like I have a good enough grasp of what's to offer. First impressions in life are everything, and Hogwarts Legacy blows expectations out of the water at first glance. The first 6 to 10 hours of my adventure, I was in love. I was running around the house yelling Leviosa and calling people muggles because the amount of detail and love poured into Hogwarts and Hogsmeade is truly a sight to behold. At first, I wanted to explore every nook and cranny. I was skipping rocks, smacking flying keys, popping balloons on my broom, capturing animals with my knapsack, solving decently difficult puzzles, you name it, I was straight up having a blast. But soon the overwhelming tedium of the tasks at hand and the exceptional mediocrity of most of the outside world really started to weigh on me. This game is a collectathon through and through, and while all the tasks are fun at first, they eventually become mindless chores, and unfortunately most of the gear and collectibles mean very little because the game just is not hard, like at all. So really at the end of the day, you're just looking for new aesthetics, and as someone who's not invested in the fandom, I just couldn't justify wasting any more time in this world. It truly is incredible the amount of variety that Avalanche has on display here, and they deserve a ton of props for it. But at a certain point, these incredibly fresh experiences just became stale and lifeless and just means of padding time. If you're not a Harry Potter fan, personally, I'd suggest waiting for a sale for the game because I do still think it's worth playing. And if you're a fan of the series, you're absolutely fucking nuts if you haven't bought this game already. Altogether, it's an 8 out of 10. Take it or leave it. Thanks for watching.